Hello there, Internet. Mario here with Vasil and Chief, our head of product at Ora. We're here to share the latest updates from Ora. But before we start, I wanted to ask Vasil, just for those of you that are not familiar with our story, how did it all get started? You know, when and why did you start with Ora?
Oh, well, that was 7 years ago, and my co-founders and I run a software developing agency. We run on a lot of client projects as well as some in-house apps. And it was a mess basically, so we needed some software to organize everything. We tried a couple of different solutions but didn't like any of them. So we decided we are going to just build one for our internal use. And at the minute that we did so, we loved how it looked, how it felt, and we just decided this is what we're going to do, and all of our company resources we directed towards this app, and we call it Ora, and you know the rest.
Absolutely, and basically you've been working hard 7 years towards Ora, and today we wanted to share basically the latest update, Ora 5.0. So take us through, I guess at a high level, what are some of the new features that are coming to Ora in the near future?
Ora 5.0 introduces a sleek new user interface. We finally released officially Ora Chat, or the team chat, a new notification system, and workflows for customizable processes inside of your project. Mm-hmm. Most of all, the biggest change is the new design. So we put all of the different features of Ora into one unified left sidebar.
Mm-hmm. And one of the major reasons that you've been working on this update, I guess it's basically taking you closer to the vision you have for Ora. Can you tell us a little bit more about your vision of what you actually want to provide users?
Ora 5 is a significant stride towards our vision of a project management platform unified with documents and team chat, all encompassing collaboration hub.
So basically you don't have to go to some other places.
Exactly, yeah.
You just use Ora and that's all you really need, removing some of the additional applications that teams would need. And part of that is that different apps create different silos of information. And I believe that part of, some of the things that you're doing with this update is also removing silos within Ora. Can you tell us a bit more about, specifically that part of the update?
By silos, you probably mean the chat is one page and the project is another page, and then the agenda is a third page, and each time you want to go from a chat channel to a project, you have to go through this main navigation that we had in Ora 4 and the previous versions. So by eliminating this, we basically make the user experience simpler and significantly faster. Not that clicking 2 times instead of once is
it
going
builds
to slow you down.
Over time, when you look at it like 7 years, I'm sure that you've lost a few days or even
seconds.
Months.
It's not about that a few seconds, but just the extra steps that you have to take. It creates a mental load on you as a user.
Yeah, I think it was one of your pet peeves, and that's one of the reasons why you focused on removing these silos. And I guess regarding the next change that you mentioned, can you tell us a bit more about the notification system and how you're revamping it?
So the revamped notification system in Ora 5 is a game changer for users who drown into the sea of unread notifications. I know, because I am one of them. I just see
putting my hands up as well.
500 unread notifications. I just go inside, click on read all, and I never know what happened really in the project until somebody mentions me. This brings me to that, but I'm sure that this is not the best way to do that. Mm-hmm. So basically what we did is that if you go inside a project, the tasks with unread notifications boldly stand against other tasks with bold text and red bell icon, so that you can easily notice them. And also once you open such a card, it will automatically read all the associated notifications with that task.
So it basically cleans up all the clutter that you've already taken care of, right?
Exactly. This will bring down the number of unread notifications instead of... essentially, if you just go to all the projects that you're interested in, it will go down to zero at one point without you having to open this notifications pop-up. You can still do that. We haven't removed it, but this
gives you another
option. Yeah.
Right. And basically it kind of functions in the same way that when you get a message on your messenger or in the chat and you have not read it, in the same way, right? That's the idea.
Yeah.
Cool. And I guess about the chat, because obviously, it's been cooking for a while. I think you released it a few years ago, but it's been in beta. Can you tell us why now?
Oh, why now? Well, it's part of our vision. And let me just tell you that Ora Chat is a versatile communication powerhouse. It's offering chat channels, direct message channels, as well as project channels, which are basically comments arranged into threads that you can easily update yourself with the conversations in the project this way. It's just something that we started 3 years ago, but we then switched with another priorities, but we just knew that we have to finish that. So this is what we're doing now.
It basically eliminates the need for a separate messaging service that some teams might use, and also it has all the functionality that you would expect from a chat service.
Yeah, besides the file sharing capabilities, users can spice up conversations with GIFs, emojis, voice messages, and even video messages. You can also, to the attached images, videos, and PDFs, you can go ahead and add annotations directly from the chat, which is something that I haven't seen anywhere else.
That's very cool. I love annotation.
Because you're in the project management system you use, you can share tasks and they will appear the same way they do on the Kanban board, which is another level of cohesion that we are really proud of. You can also convert any chat message to a task easily. Just right-click and choose which project and which list you want to create that message in.
Without leaving the chat?
Yeah, without leaving the chat.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm going to use that feature a lot. So regarding, specifically how you decided to prioritize these updates, did it come from user feedback outside of what you have as a vision? And how do you take the user feedback? Because I know we have our public roadmap where users can provide ideas and also vote on different features. But I just wondered what the process looks like under the hood when you're making these decisions about what should we include in Ora 5.
We aggregate user feedback from various places. We have our public roadmap where people can see some requests, vote for them, comment, and make new ones. We have our help desk system where we receive messages from our users, and we append those messages to cards in our primary board inside of Ora. There is a small cool feature in Ora which counts links from the same domain. So, for example, when we attach, let's say, 20 conversations from Help Scout, which is our help desk service that we use, we can see 20 on the card, and this help us notice some feedback against others. And as well, we mix that with our vision and just try to do the right couple of things that we can do as with such a small team. We are a very small development team.
Yeah, and I hosted probably tens of customer interviews as well, where we got the feedback about what the customer journey looks like, and as well as the feedback about some of the pet peeves customers have, some of the favorite features that they're using Ora because of them, as well as some future ideas that they might have about Ora. What happens if, let's say, it's a good idea, but it's not aligned to your vision, and you receive such a feedback from a customer?
Well, the thing with feedback is that it usually comes in the form of a feature request, but this is not the right way to read it. So we always convert those feature requests to user needs, and from this need you can usually solve it in a couple of ways. It's not always the same feature request that the user made.
Right.
Maybe there is a better way.
Yes.
As Henry Ford put it, if I ask people what they want, they would just would have replied faster horses.
Right.
But what they need is a better form of transportation.
Exactly.
So it's the same thing with product. When you have this feature request, you have to take it through your prism and your vision, and then go ahead and do something that solves the issues.
And it's also you have to figure out what is actually the originating problem that is causing this feature request.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, this is the user need. We call this the user need.
Right.
There are different ways to solve this.
Yep.
Both as a user and both as a product developer.
Yeah, flexibility is one of the reasons why a lot of users use Ora. They come from a different project management tool where there is one set way to do things, while within Ora it's actually a lot of flexibility about finding, I guess, the optimal usage for yourself. And
that's
you're
right,
kind of allowing that.
We are very flexible, and also one feature that we are adding in this release, the best release so far.
Yes.
It's workflows, which means that we allow people to create custom workflow processes for their projects. For example, if you follow the Kanban method, or we call this feature in our pipeline workflow, it basically means that tasks go from left to right through the different columns. You might have to do, in progress, done, or it could be more complicated than that. For example, our project where we develop Ora has 10 or 20 columns this, and this process is not always straightforward from left to right.
Right.
So with the new workflows feature, you can basically go from left to any list you want inside the project when the task is completed. And you also could have an alternative action, sort of maybe you may have positive and negative action on this column. And for both, you can select different list inside a different project. You can select it to maybe to archive the cart, and we are also considering adding further options than that in the future.
Great. And going back to the redesign, I guess, moving everything navigationally in one place, saving people time. But the other thing I consider there is regarding how people prioritize. So it's one thing if you're, let's say, a software developer and you're working on, let's say, at most 1 or 2 boards for work. Maybe you have one personal board for, managing your own time. But what happens when you're, let's say, managing a team of 100 people or even 1,000 people? And sometimes you have to have that ability to, see things at a higher level, as well as prioritize things that really help the business bottom line, because you might not want to get down into the individual projects, but you want to have that ability to see what is happening at a high level. So how does the new, I guess, redesign help with that?
Well, the newer design doesn't address that exactly, but we do have plans to add such an overview of projects in the form of portfolios and roadmaps. This is something that we're considering for next year. And it is true that Ora is very project-centric.
Yep.
And if you want to just have like a bird's eye view of a couple of projects, and project managers do have this need where they manage, let's say, a dozen projects. They just need to have a higher level overview of what's happening inside those projects without going into each one.
Yep.
This is basically what Portfolios is going to do in sometime next year.
All right. But for right now, if you are involved in, let's say, 100 different projects, and everything is, let's say, in the left-hand part, it's going to take you a while to scroll all the way down to see all the projects, right? Even with the new notification system where, when you click on a project and you get everything highlighted, there are still probably priorities for people.
So there are a lot of challenges that we faced when we created the new unified left sidebar. We added a lot of mechanisms to solve that. The first one and the probably easiest one was just to create smaller height elements into the sidebar. This allows us to basically to see more items. The next one was to create a search or a filter, and you can just use the keyboard shortcut Command P to select the left sidebar's input and just type a project or a channel and hit enter and you will open that. Another mechanism was you can collapse different categories. For example, if you're not interested in DMs or channels right now, you can collapse that and it basically disappears. It just becomes the title of the category. And last but not least, we added favorites. So on top of everything, you can create your favorites, and there is also favorite folders. So you can really go out and create
your own prioritization.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
And you can add multiple items as favorites. Besides channels and projects and sprints, you can also add milestones and even tasks.
Okay.
As a favorite, yeah.
Cool. And I guess relating to what you mentioned about future plans, you just told us about portfolios and how they would help, managers or project managers that have a lot of different projects see it, I guess, a bird's eye view.
About that, we actually have a solution right now to see items from multiple projects. It's not that high level that we are adding next year, but the so-called agenda that doesn't exist anymore.
It doesn't exist anymore?
Well, as an entity, it doesn't exist because it just went into the sidebar as different views. You no longer have to go to the agenda, but in there you can see basically cards from multiple projects at once. We have this thing called Focus, and it allows you to select multiple projects and multiple assignees, and you just see tasks for those people and from those projects. It looks like a calendar, but you can also make it look like a list or like a board.
Yep.
And I especially love when you select a week to see it as a board, and you have like your columns are Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Okay.
So this really helps you plan. And of course, in combination with the Focus, you can select 10 projects or as much as you want, and you can plan for those projects.
And returning on what you mentioned about future plans, I guess I want to just go back a few months, and also talk a little bit more about time management as part of Ora, because very recently we launched an update that was focused on time management, and you were just talking about calendar, agenda. I mean, I use the timer a lot, and definitely...
The new timer views, we added this 2 months ago, and it was the first change to the time tracking in Ora since 2017 when we launched the product. Mm-hmm. Because even in the first version we have time tracking. This was one of our priorities because we needed that.
Yeah, one of the reasons why you built it, I think you mentioned, is like you wanted to know how much time each person spends on building Ora.
We wanted to do that. But since then we haven't touched the time tracking. It just worked perfectly. But every now and then we had this request for a view of only timers. Mm-hmm. So we added 4 views like that. One is like a list view.
Yep.
The second one are calendar views. Mm-hmm. So you can see a week of or a day, mm-hmm. basically with the time. And the fourth one is a timesheet, which is really powerful because you can just go inside that and type 5 or 6 numbers, and you have your entire work for the week. Mm-hmm. For people who are not that interested, for example, when did the timer start and when did it end, they just need to know they worked 7 hours or 4 hours this day. Mm-hmm. So this is really the fastest way to do that. And
in terms of like future updates to the timer, I know that one of the things people have basically used external timers for is because they sometimes want to track idle time, like time you're not in front of a computer. So I think my question is, what do you think about the future updates to, I guess, time management within Ora, or potentially partnerships or integrations with third-party services?
Well, we have this prototype which basically automatically tracks time. Mm-hmm. This is something that it's not ready yet, but we are working on as a pet project, and it addresses exactly what you say, because sometimes you don't want to go and type the time manually. If it could just be automatic, mm-hmm. and you don't have to do much.
Yep.
This is probably the best way. So this is something that we are working on. I don't know if we're going to release it or when this is going to happen, though.
All right. Well, in that case, what are you planning to release outside of the portfolios for the next update?
Outside of the portfolios, let us not forget about docs. So this is part of our vision to be a platform for project management, documents, and team chat.
Docs. So
docs, yeah,
Google Docs, Ora Docs.
Well, the name that we're going to use is Ora Paper.
Okay.
And it is basically just like you can create notes, documents, and wiki for mm-hmm. your projects, for your clients.
For your company.
For a company, yeah. It's something that people have requested and they are used to for example, from working with Jira and Confluence. We don't have such a thing, and a lot simpler than Confluence, but I think
this is going to be something that you're focused on to realize your vision.
This is something that we want to do to finalize our vision, or at least the core mm-hmm. concepts of our vision. Then we also plan to add Teams, which is basically
Microsoft Teams, or no, not Microsoft Teams.
Not
okay, because we already have a chat. I'm like,
no, just Teams for team members.
Okay,
basically to allow you to
organizations.
To group members together and help you with giving privileges and access to different channels and projects. For bigger companies where this is very cumbersome at the moment.
And I guess as far as like, teams as well as portfolios.
By the way, Mario is looking at our
our whiteboard is over there.
Which is full of features and uses
full
it
of
for
ideas.
inspiration for asking questions.
Exactly.
Some of those things are not to be disclosed, so be careful.
All right. Thanks for everybody for joining us. This is wrapping up the latest updates of Ora. We're really excited, right?
Yeah, I'm really excited as well.
And looking forward to what you think. When is it launching?
It's already out.
Great. Check it out.
Check it out and send us feedback.
Bye, everybody.